Hello and welcome to Lakeside, where it's quarter-final day in the WDF World Championships. Just 8 players remain in both the men's and the women's competition. I'm delighted to have with me the Asset Paul Nicholson and Tony the Silverback O'Shea, and this is what we have in store for you this afternoon. It's a battle between Scotland and Northern Ireland, with Jim McEwan versus the Duff man, Neil Duff. We have our first men's quarter-final. What a day it is in store. Just 8 men left standing in the draw, and so many standout matches to look forward to in this one. Paul, the men's competition, so many great games to look forward to. Everyone a standout?
I'd have to say yes. I have enjoyed this tournament so much that I just don't want it to end, but unfortunately we've come to the stage where it will have to end in the next 3 days. I'm really intrigued to see the nerve level and the spirit level of what we will see from these 8 guys throughout the course of the day. There will be nerves because they all know that they have never done it before, so someone's going to have to stand up and be counted.
Well, let's have a look at who has made it through to the final 8. The number 1 seed, Brian Rahman, is against the new record holder for the highest average in Lakeside history, Richard Veenstra, and it is a battle first up between Scotland and Northern Ireland. Jim McEwan against Neil Duff. In the bottom half, flying the flag for France and Belgium, Thibaut Chacol against Andy the Beast Bartons. They're going to go head-to-head later on, and then it's Scotland versus England. Cameron Menzies, the former Scottish Open, British Open and Welsh Open champion, faces James Hurrell, the England captain and current WDF number 1. And the standard, Paul, has been so high. Can nobody afford to have an off day?
They can afford to have a few offsets now because the format goes to best of 7. There's not a great deal of players in the last 8 who have got exposure to that format as well. Andy Bartons has been in a quarter-final before, Veenstra's been to the semis, but apart from that, we're talking about new territory for a lot of them. And we're going to find out a lot more about these guys over the next day or 2.
When you moved up to best of 7, how did that then change your approach?
It was good for me because I loved long format darts, and I was really good at compartmentalizing every match into the break structure. So play 1 set as a mini match and then possibly another 2 sets as another mini match. I was always setting myself these small goals. This is what these guys will probably have to do over the next day or 2. Try and get advice from the likes of Wolfie, O'Shea, some of the other guys who come through the doors, and say, what was it like to play in these long format games? Because like I say, Bartons and Veenstra are the only 2 who've been here before.
Jim McEwan and Neil Duff, first of all, what kind of match are we going to get here?
I think it could be quite cagey at the start. Neither have got experience of best of 7 sets on the Lakeside stage, and I think the confidence levels of Neil Duff have come down a bit throughout the course of the week, maybe on purpose from Neil, but also from the fact his mother has told him to just rein it in a little bit, which I think is comical. Exactly.
Stop making predictions, she said, but so far his predictions have been correct.
Yeah, to be fair to him, his crystal ball is working, so why change now? Why change a winning formula, I say? Just stick with it, Neil. But the pace of this game is not going to suit Neil Duff at all. When you play Jim McEwan, you've got to be patient. It's not just about what you're doing on this side of the hockey when you're playing. It's about being at the back of the stage and spending more time there. If you're not comfortable there, you will lose.
Well, we can hear from Neil Duff's opponent ahead of this match. It's Chucky, Jim McEwan.
Jim, back at the Lakeside, just sum up your week so far. Unreal.
Ambition is fulfilled. I wanted to win 1 game and I was happy, so everything else is a bonus now. Yeah, I'm loving it, absolutely loving it.
It was a brilliant performance in the first match, 100 plus average. But you've been in some battles since then.
Yeah, Aaron was tough. Yesterday I knew that was going to be tough. And I expect another one today. Yeah.
Neil's been a confident customer. He keeps coming here and predicting he's going to win to 0 all the time. What do you make of that, and what's your response?
Neil knows me anyway. I know Neil well. And it's tongue-in-cheek with Neil. I know that.
Quarter-final day today, all 8 quarter-finals across both tournaments. How special is it to be playing on this day?
Oh, it's today, brilliant, and hopefully tomorrow. So it's unreal. It's all unreal, just unreal.
Well, good luck, Jim. Thank you.
Competing for a place in the semi-finals of the World Championships, it's Jim McEwan taking on Neil Duff. Chucky against the Duff man, and your commentators for this one will be Chris Murphy and Tony O'Shea. But first, I'll hand you back to your MC, Richard Ashdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2022 WDF World Championships. It's men's quarterfinals time here at the home of World Darts, the Lakeside. Playing over the best of 7 sets, we first introduce from Scotland, a 2-time Challenge Tour winner and the reigning British Classic champion, Chucky Jim McEwan. We now welcome a British pentathlon, England national singles and Slovak Masters champion, Northern Ireland's Duff man, Neil Duff.
Here we go then, the first of the men's quarterfinals here at the WDF World Darts Championship at the home of World Darts at the Lakeside, and it is 2 players who have had a decent debut on the sport's spiritual home. Jim McEwan, Chucky of Scotland, the unseeded player who really laid the first marker in the tournament when he averaged 101.32 in his opening round win against Landon Gardiner. Neil Duff has been Mr. Confidence, correctly predicting both of his results so far, a 3-0 win against Justin Thompson and a 3-1 victory against Nick Fulwell. But they are a couple of players who know each other very well, have played pairs together. McEwan knows that Neil's comments are tongue-in-cheek, and Neil has stopped the talking because his mum's had a word with him. It's quarterfinals day, Tony, and there's no better man to be alongside me in the commentary box. You played in 6 quarterfinal matches on the Lakeside stage and won 5 of them. How do you do it? What's your advice?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but that's probably why it's my favourite day of the week. I always loved quarterfinals days because you'd sort of done the hard work. You were really into the competition, and this is when it really started. Some great memories over the years.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, this is a real clash of personalities.
It's Jim to throw first.
A slow, deliberate
Game
player.
on.
And Neil, that sometimes can be so aggressive, but it helps his game. It's going to be interesting to see how Neil deals with this pace of the game.
Extended format as well, which, as Paul was saying,
96.
will be alien to this pair, really. Rarely played in such a lengthy encounter. Best of 7 sets. The first to 4. I suppose the advantage of throw matters slightly less the longer the format goes on, but McEwan did win the ball back in the practice room.
Yeah, it's not as important, but
83.
it's tight near the end, obviously without the tie break this year. could be all important. That's a long way off if it's going to be a tight match. Some of these quarter-finals, 7 sets can go on for an hour and a half, hour and 50 minutes.
Well, when they were best of 9, we had one year, didn't we, 4 years ago, when every single set was played.
It's a real test of stamina. I think Jim was not complaining, but he mentioned about feeling tired.
78.
I think that was more nervous tension than physical, because just the pressure of being on there in front of the crowd, the lights, the cameras, it does take its toll on you.
95.
Well, the stats suggest that the match is really all about McEwan. Neil Duff has put in almost exactly the same standard of performance in both matches, averaged 88 in each of them. But McEwan, following that ton-topping average in game 1, when he won 2-0, has won 3-1 against Aaron Turner, his average in the low 90s, and then 3-2 against Michael Warburton, his average in the mid-80s. So it's not the kind of pattern that he wants to take into the last
Jimmy require 144.
Obviously, that was one of the things Jim said. He just wanted to win a match on the stage, and obviously put everything into that first match.
Duff will get the opportunity to break in the opening leg.
54.
98
Neil,
required, treble 20
98.
to start. To land the first blow. Treble 18, can't find it, but McEwan's on 90. May only get a dart at the
58.
bullseye.
Jim, you require 90.
Nice, steady, deliberate. Not for the first time. That first dart's in treble 20, double 15. And that's a great finish to the first leg.
Jim McEwan.
He's nicely into the
Neil
match.
to throw first. Game on.